I'm Reese. This is The Liar in the Night. I'm just going to read a few short passages, starting from the beginning. A bead of sweat dove and crashed onto parchment, blotting a line of fresh ink. Parchment shook and made slight squiggles on the lines as the quill sliced by. It was a hot day, and a fire crackled in the hearth. Against the walls were shelves of dishes and books, small ornaments, and a few large vases with neglected canthaleaf, their white flowers wilted and their thick green stems drooping from their lack of care. There was a spiral staircase to one side of the room, leading up to the second floor, and on the far wall there was the open entrance to the kitchen. In between were a few stiff wooden chairs as a poor excuse for furniture, a large red rug half covered by heaps of cluttered scrolls and parchments strewn across the floor, and a man, curly-headed, with a high-collared, embroidered yellow tunic and bronze-colored skin, hunched over a table, frantically drawing on this parchment. "Yevnir Goldleaf!" A muffled shout rang through the almost empty house, startling the man at work. It was a woman's voice, thick with an accent. He hurried his drawing, his wrist weak and his lines flawed. "Where is it, Goldleaf?" she yelled from just outside his door. The man swallowed the lump in his throat as he glanced nervously at the door. He flung the parchment out of his way and drifted to the ground. On its face, a crude drawing of a squirrel-like figure with stripes across its body, holding a circular disc in its paws. This was not meant for the fire. He pulled a gold coin from his pocket and twiddled it with his fingers before tucking it back into his pocket. The hearth blazed and spit embers, and when the large figures outside blocked out the sunshine from the windows, the fire became his only light. He stumbled toward it, wading through parchments and scrolls, and almost tripping on a leather-bound book hidden amidst the mess. Before the hearth, he dropped to his knees and started ripping crumpled parchments from where they were tucked under his arm. Every other second, he glanced at the door, expecting it to burst open, wondering in terror if that little iron lock would hold. As he tossed his documents into the fire, he reveled at how they soaked up the orange light and shriveled to nothingness like decaying fruit. Another knock. "He home now." This voice was different from the first, deeper and slightly quieter. A man. "No, Master Yevnir is not home," shouted the man inside, the artist, Yevnir. "He is at the port conducting business." "Then we wait for him," the woman said. "Open your door, maid." The artist paused, still on his knees. A slight smirk formed at the corner of his lips, and his trembling hands gradually calmed to stillness. "I am a servant," he said, "not a maid." "What is difference?" the deep voice answered. "Well," the artist started, his head tilting to the side, "I guess you could say—" "Open the door, servant," shouted the woman. The artist stood and went to the door, unbolting the lock and opening it. A short-haired, dark-skinned woman with a golden necklace stared straight at him, and a large, pot-bellied and broad-shouldered brute stared down at him with a toothy smile. "If you are going to come in for tea," said the artist, "we should introduce ourselves. My name is Harold Brimington," he lied. The brute smothered his words with an open palm, squeezing his cheeks before pushing his head into the wall and holding him there. Kind of like this. The artist felt as though this brute's hand would explode his head like a watermelon. "Tea," chuckled the brute. "Tea." "Start searching, Jaka," said the woman, and the brute released him. Bent over, gasping for the air the giant palm had denied him, the artist reached out an arm in desperation. "Please do not make a mess. Master Yevnir will kill me. I still have not finished sorting his papers." "Go, servant." The suggestion shocked him, but he wasn't one to question an opportunity for self-preservation. "As you wish, ma'am." He got up and rushed out of the door as the two intruders tossed the house. Outside, surrounded by pine trees that littered the ground with orange needles, like he had littered his own floor with parchment, he ran. A smile grew on his face until he was laughing. The Liar in the Night is about Yevnir Goldleaf needing help from Sir Willem. So Sir Willem Hornsby has to answer Yevnir's call to help and come save him from the pirates. Stepping onto the dock, the knight rummaged through his satchel to find the letter he'd received a few weeks prior, the reason he had crossed the sea. He pulled the crumpled parchment out and tried to shake it dry, then flattened it the best he could. The corners were stained with drops of red wax and little blots of what looked like blood, now slightly smeared from the rain. He read it. To Sir Willem Hornsby, Will, my dearest friend, I have no one else to turn to. I'm afraid my schemes will soon catch up with me, as you always said they would. If only I had stayed in Bordeaux. How I missed my Edrin roads, the canals in the city, and my Bordeaux wines. How I missed the vineyards and the late nights in Grohl's Tavern. You remember the ones. Sweet, slender beauties at my arm and big, hefty dames at yours. I miss the safety of the city gates and the danger of a midnight gamble. I know you would feel the same if ever you left the continent. That is not to say that you wouldn't find a love for this land, though, as I have. Pastora is a sort of paradise to me. It is a land of magic, old friend. I have seen things here that even you would shudder to stand against, and things so stunning that I could stare at them for weeks on end. You will truly love it if you come, and you must come. You see, I am in a bit of a jam here on the island, one I cannot free myself of alone. I need your help. That is all I can say on the matter. You will know why if you make the journey. If by chance you get this letter, meet me at the Hollow Mountain Inn in the port town of Baverna. Find a merchant ship in Woodsworth. Any will do. I will know of your arrival before you reach the inn. Please, Will, answer my call. I know I have been a hindrance to you over the many years of our friendship, but I would not ask if I weren't in dire need and in perilous danger. It is not a rumor that there is luck aplenty on this green island, but all luck must run out, just as every sunny day must end in darkness. If you don't come to Pastora, I'm afraid I won't ever see the dawn again. Your friend, Yevnir Goldleaf. Sir Willem shook his head, folded the letter into his pocket, and thought, you really do have a knack for drama, Yev. The real heart of the story is Sir Willem missing home and missing his brothers. And when I was at basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia, I was gone for 7 months. And so yeah, his journey is a lot about missing home, wanting to be back at home, he really loves fishing like I do, and he wanted to come home and just fish with his brothers. And so all these quests that he's going on are things that are kind of pulling him away from what he really wants to be doing.